second BGH intro of the night. Hello, everybody, and welcome into another exciting episode of Bloody Good Horror. My name is Eric, and I'll be your host for this evening, where we will be reviewing Oh my God, not Dream Eater. Jesus Christ, John. We'll be reviewing... You're in my head, Schnars. We'll be reviewing Bone Lake. It's about what you think it's about. Boning at a lake. Sure. Joining me tonight, first up from Manhattan, New York City. Please welcome John Schnars to the show.
Because the bones are in the lake, Eric?
The bones are their money, is my understanding. Next up on the show from Indiana, please welcome Casey.
We got lots of lakes here.
That's right. Not boning, just lakes. And last up tonight from the mean streets of Oakland, California. I'm sure she's going to make it weird tonight. Please welcome Rachel to the show.
I'm going to do my best. I had written things down about the psychosexual development of Freud, and I deleted it. So I'm on better behavior than I could be.
Wow. If you're going to be here,
talk about the genital phase of the psychosexual development.
There you
go. First genital of the night. Okay.
What did Freud say about perfectly placed arrows piercing members?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, and sometimes an arrow through the balls is, a great way to start a movie.
No more meaning than that.
Shaft on shaft violence.
All right.
Folsom Street Fair. All right. Good.
All right. Well, let's delay no more. Let's take a quick break and review Bone Lake.
This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV. Not the prime time. Main feature.
John, the reason I have Dream Eater on the brain is I just before this had a lovely sit down with the writing, directing, acting trio behind the next selection of the horror section.
Boy, howdy. Very excited to hear you had a good time.
That's going to come out. It'll be on YouTube and audio in our feed next week. The movie, though, John, is approaching fast. You want to tell people?
October 24th in theatrical theaters, wherever you have big lights in front of you while you sit and eat your popcorn. Get your tickets now. They're on sale now, and you should be ordering early and often.
It's a nice svelte little indie found footage film.
Very
with a great ending.
Very found footage. I believe it's the scariest 15 minutes of horror this year. The last 15 minutes. Yeah. So goes hard.
I was gonna say it's only 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
Rachel, you talked to them.
It feels
Rachel,
like it's almost
the rest of the movie's
minutes.
great, just to be clear. But
Rachel, you talked to them recently too, right?
Yeah, actually, our interview on More Deadly is coming out next week as well. It's a different day, or it's coming out Monday. And we talk about totally different things than you did. So if you enjoy your listening to them talking to Eric, turn around, go back to iTunes, and check out mine and Ariel's interview with them. We get really deep into themes and mythology and sort of symbolically what the film is kind of getting at in terms of the dynamics between the couple. We go in a very different
I love
direction.
that tracks. My conversation was nerd out with me about found footage, and then we spent 20 minutes talking about American Movie, which was the highlight of my week.
Oh wow. I've never talked to them about American Movie. That's awesome.
You should, because not only do they love it and had physical copies within arm's reach, but there are stories about American Movie that are relevant to the production of Dream Eater.
So. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, John, back to boning. Please bring us the word of the day.
Eric, today's word is amatory. Amatory. A-M-A-T-O-R-Y. Amatory. One definition here. Leading to or induced by sexual love or desire. And it comes to us from the Latin amator, which, I don't know, well, I was going to say love, but no. It has the same root as amateur. Oh, well, amare, to love in Latin, yeah. Interesting, the word amateur comes from...
You're going to say that, you're going to be like, amare.
Amare. That's how the Latins...
Thank you.
That's how they...
Yes, famously, that's how the Latin sound.
But one
right.
doesn't want to be an amateur at Amore.
No.
No.
That's bad.
No.
There's no excuse these days, you know. Just go to ChatGPT; it'll tell you everything you need to know. Sure. Imagine it's happening somewhere right now, Rachel.
Yeah.
Yep.
The G stands
John.
for genitals.
Woof.
Second one of the night.
John, tell me about Bone Lake.
Bone Lake is a film by Mercedes Bryce Morgan. I believe, I want to say it's third or fourth film for her. Is that right? I mean, Rachel will correct me later. Sorry?
I'll correct you now. That is
I
correct.
think it's third.
Yeah.
Written by Joshua Friedlander. This is a tight little, I don't know, they've been calling it an erotic thriller. But there's some horror
Okay.
stuff going on here as well.
Listen. Spoiler alert, I liked this movie. But if you're going to call it an erotic thriller, it's got to be a lot more erotic. I'm just saying there are rules to these things.
There was not a single saxophone in that score.
I was like, how
That's
much?
fair.
How much eros are you looking for, Eric?
You know me, it's always more.
Yeah, fair enough. So Bone Lake, we have two main characters, Diego and Sage. They are a couple. They are in a relationship. They are on their way to a secluded mountain escape. Oh, and I should say the film does open with the shaft on shaft violence mentioned earlier. So there is this scene where we see a naked couple running through the woods, then being shot by a crossbow, execution style after the genital violence. We then cut to Diego and Sage. They're in the car. They're on their way. They get to the house. They have their first coital encounter, and then they're very quickly sort of interrupted post-coitus by the door opening, and it turns out the house has been booked by two different couples. And they're both like, what? I booked it. No, I booked it. So now we're introduced to Will and Sin. Sin spelled C-I-N. Because. And it's not short for Cindy. I think they're very clear, right?
Short for
Doesn't she
cinnamon.
say?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. Oh, that's what it is.
So
Okay.
sage and cinnamon, setting up a dichotomy of flavors right there.
Rachel, you went so deep already.
I know.
And so you have Will and Sin now, and they immediately. What are they doing? They are immediately sort of like nibbling on the edges of the Sage and Diego relationship, and then increasingly not on the edges, but just like right into the fleshy center of that relationship.
Yes.
They're just playing this game where they're trying to sort of like come in between them or like get in between them a little bit, and a lot of the film hinges on this question of like what the hell's going on with these two. That's the tee up. I don't know that there's anything else we need to say.
All right. Rachel.
That was suitably almost erotic, Schnars.
Rachel, what'd you think?
The fleshy middle.
I know.
So as I was kind of alluding to earlier, like I was kind of the exact right age and stage of development in my psychosexual development. It hit coincided perfectly with the heyday and the like peak of the erotic thriller. So for better or worse, I feel like I'm very shaped by these films. I have a deep affection for these films. I consider myself a little bit of a scholar of these films. And I feel like the art of the erotic thriller largely has been lost. It requires this combination of titillation, violence or like a tension, like a fear of violence, and camp and absurdity. I think you need all of those elements to some degree to really kind of create like a classic erotic
Little over the
thriller.
top. Yeah.
Yes. That being said, when you go back and watch them now, you have to have a pretty high cringe tolerance because they have not, for the most part, aged well at all, to say the least. So, what I really loved about this movie, which, like you, Eric, I'm going to obviously say positive things about this tonight. I love this movie, is that it hit all of those prerequisites for the classic erotic thriller, and that it is quite sexy. It's actually quite gory in the final act and the opening act. And there's a real like old school sense of absurdity to the revelations that are happening in the third act. But it also kind of subverts some things and gives this more modern perspective on relationships and interest in the internal life of its characters, specifically in Sage, and an exploration of her desire for pleasure, but within the context of like a more modern conversation and series of issues within her relationship. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds from that perspective. And it takes these relational dynamics and unpacks them through this lens and the tropes of the erotic thriller. I also think it does an interesting kind of brief thing where it explores and subverts the very common trope in erotic thrillers of the sinister queer or the sinister trans person. And now there's nobody trans in this, but it does kind of play with the way, particularly Sin at one point weaponizes queerness, but she is quite clearly a straight person. And so like it's kind of this flip on it. And it's interesting because the filmmaker herself is a queer woman. And I think she was specifically kind of exploring and kind of lampooning a little bit of that part of the subgenre. But yeah, ultimately, I just think it's a really fun movie. Like it's a little bit of Ready or Not meets like Body Double with the absurdity of a VC Andrews novel. So like, in other words, it's like the exact center of the Venn diagram of things that I love. Like all it just needs is like a xenomorph in it and it's like over for me.
I weirdly thought of Perfect Getaway.
Yeah, perfect.
This,
Yes,
this
that's
is what
another
I,
great
you know, what's funny is
example.
I didn't even clock the erotic thriller ties, which I told you, I mean, I get it.
Eric, there's multiple sex
No, no,
scenes
no.
in the first like 12 minutes.
This
of
to
the
me, I
movie.
was like, oh, I get it. This is a weird couple movie. This is another way I would describe this.
Yeah.
This specific subgenre is like, it's a weird couple. We got a normal couple. We got a weird couple. Weird couple wants to do weird stuff with the normal couple, and they start kind of trying to break down their trust, and like, you don't know where they came from or what their game is, but you like are almost immediately, you know, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you can feel outwardly they kind of are this very shiny package of like a perfect Instagram couple, but there is just something that is uncanny and uncomfortable and sinister just below the surface that I think that they deploy quite well. But yeah, I'm gonna also just throw out a plug. If you liked this movie, you should definitely go see her previous horror film, Spoonful of Sugar, which is on Shudder. It is, I think, pretty great. So get into that too. Yeah, those are my thoughts.
Casey.
I too enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I've too enjoyed an erotic thriller back in my day. You know, I was a student of Skinamax back in the day, Red Shoe Diaries and all that good stuff. This one was
Shannon
pretty
Tweed,
good.
GTFO.
Exactly. We haven't had a good one of those in a while that's come across good. And this one comes across well with the psychosexual stuff that's going on and mixing it with the tension and the thrillerness that's going on in this was really good. It had some tense moments into it, and I enjoyed the ride going through more than anything. Everybody puts in a decent performance. To me, it was kind of obvious from the start on who the good couple was, who the bad couple was, but I don't think they were trying to hide that either, because those two came across from the moment they opened up, stepped through that door. You could almost see that twinkle in their eye that something was going up, which is to say I agree with Rachel, the way that they conveyed that and laid it out. This movie didn't surprise me. I don't think there was anything too surprising or doing anything definite like genre bending or new. But it's a very good erotic thriller that's been put together here, and it's a fun ride. And adding the extra gore and stuff at the end really helps modernize it. And makes it a fun ride all the way through.
I'm
John.
hoping that if we keep calling it an erotic thriller, eventually Eric's gonna break.
Words have meaning,
and just
guys.
like rage screaming.
Words
It's like,
mean
Interesting.
things.
Like there are multiple sex scenes, and like there is constant sexual tension throughout the film, and weaponization of
There
of
is sexual
sexuality.
tension.
It's definitely one of the horniest
just-
movies we've
Yeah.
seen. And they very explicitly tee it up. There's the conversation that they're having in the car about the book that he's writing, and she's challenging him to like take chances and like whatever, like not worry about cancel culture. And like that's a whole narrative, at least. I don't know. I think in movies is like there was like less sex because it was like making people uncomfortable. And so
Yeah.
there was like less sex in movies. And this movie is like, no,
Yeah. I-
more sex.
And you're not wrong. I'm using the erotic thriller because we established it up front. In my mind, the erotic thriller, I joke about the saxophones, but they definitely had that quality and that the noir quality to the story, which this one definitely lacks too.
All right. So here's the thing. I liked this a little less than everybody, it seems. I am going to try not to be a Debbie Downer about the fair. I actually would say I was very in, like all the way in, through the first like
John.
act. I know. It was deep, Eric. I was
Oh
deep.
my-
What's that? you like where I was taking that?
Rachel, he just yes-anded me.
I know.
He horny yes-anded me. No way.
Like the growth that is happening tonight. Like one
Now you know the
CBT
key.
shot, and John is a new man.
No, but I sort of was like I was gonna say it was feeling a little too long for me in the sort of second act turn into the third act. Like I think part of it is there's 4 characters, and like at a certain point you can only have so many scenes of like husband 1 talking to husband 2. Okay, now husband 2 is talking to wife 2. Like you have like every version of
Permutation.
that scene. Yeah. And then it kind of circled back around, and I was like, all right. They also do the thing where they're very selectively not showing you specific scenes to like undercut, like, because there's this whole thing when they go on the car ride. Did they or didn't they with husband 2 and wife 1, Sage and Will? And they could have just showed it to us one way or the other, and presumably they don't to like draw attention, but they're like withholding information that like is available to the characters from us, if that makes like it's like the opposite of dramatic tension, where like we know something the characters don't. We're being asked to like identify with multiple different characters, but like they're then withholding things or not like selectively editing to like drive tension, but the characters know what happened. Am I making sense?
I mean, Sage knows what happens, but
Sure.
what's his name?
Diego.
But
like,
Diego
here's the
doesn't,
thing.
and like there's a payoff for that in the car in terms of he has to make a choice. Is he going to believe her, or is he going to succumb
Yeah.
to
The question I had about
mark?
though is like we see that a sex scene with him and her, but then are told that didn't happen.
No, it cuts back, and it's a sex scene between Diego and Sin right before the other couple arrive.
Yeah. Actually,
There are
do they
sex
actually-
noises that
Yeah.
then goes into showing Sin, and it's a little ambiguous, but it is the
No,
it
but Sin is the bad one, right?
Will
She-
and Sin
yeah.
are having sex. The
It's Will
brother-
and Sin.
the-
It's not
Got
Diego.
it.
and
That's
the
what I'm saying.
bad
Okay.
couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it.
No, I guess Rachel.
Is this
my
what
point
you're
is, like,
talking about though, John? It's sort of selectively showing you
Well,
things.
because it's not that Diego's the main character and we're only living with Diego and only in his perspective. We're also with it's really like there's 2 main characters, and so there's a little bit like I don't know. It's fine. It like mostly works, but like by the like the end of the second act, I just felt like I'm like what is the game that we're playing here at a certain point? Then here's the thing, and I'm curious. Like to me, a lot of this movie turns on the reveal, which like. I don't know. I was just like, really?
I didn't really get it. I actually meant to go look it up and forgot.
Well,
But you guys can
I
explain
mean,
it to me.
it's not any more absurd than like every one of those movies had like multiple personality disorder or
Yeah.
like they were extremely melodramatic, and that's what I'm saying. Like it felt like an old school erotic thriller in that way that like it hinged on something that was almost soap opera-esque. You know?
VC Andrews is the perfect framing for me.
Yeah.
Sure. I've only seen the cover of the VC Andrews books. I've never read one, so just like that, the reference doesn't super help. But
Yeah.
so here's the thing, though. Like I think, and I was, like I said, I was having a really good time with the movie, and ultimately, like it works in a lot of ways. But I wanted it to either be like further in that direction, because Rachel, you mentioned like the kills at the very end of this movie are like kind of bonkers crazy, especially for a movie where there's no other kills. And so it's like, I mean, there's the like kills in the first 2 minutes of the movie, and then there's like crazy kills at the end. And like the rest of the movie is like 4 people in a house, like talking to each other and like playing like psychosexual like mind games. So
You say that like it's a bad thing.
no, but like I kind of wanted it to go even further into the like crazy zany. Like it actually like walks itself back, I think, earlier in the film, and like it's playing it a little straighter. It's funny. It's like a little tongue in cheek, but like then when it really goes over the edge, you're like, oh, like this is where we're going here. I don't know. That's it didn't 100% work, I guess, is where
Maybe some more. I could. I may be wrong on what you're saying, but I could see more, a little bit more hints and clues peppered about the house, not to connect the brother and sister to the house, but the weirdness of the family that was there or something. Maybe it seems like a bland, random stuff. Even when they open up those locked rooms, it's like, okay, they got a Ouija board room and they've got a sex room. That's
Well, we also see the cars in the lake, and there's like little hints here and there.
I just like also, and I'll stop and let Eric go. I don't believe they would have committed more than like 2 murders without being caught. Like they, including.
Are you
the
asking
original
what their
murder.
business model is?
No, well, but like it's got to be like slightly believable, right? That like, I don't want to give the spoiler away yet.
Their
but like,
ratings must be terrible.
there's an original murder at the heart of this movie that you have to like get over the hump there of like, oh yeah, like that they didn't get discovered at that point, like,
Yeah, I mean, there's like a little throwaway line about them like setting up like another Airbnb for the other couple to go. You know what I
and
mean?
he's like, you're not gonna make it
things.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I understand.
Yeah. I mean, there's some hand waving that must be done. I'm sorry, John.
Yeah, totally.
I would say, despite my quibbling about genre certification here, I think this is really fun. Now, Rachel and I are definitely approaching this from a very Rachel and Eric point of view, where Rachel is like, we're dissecting and there's all this. And I just watched it. I'm like, that's fun. It is.
I could talk for 20 minutes about the masturbation scene alone. I have so many thoughts and feelings.
I dig
about
the
way that was
cast.
shot.
I dig the cast. I think what I actually like about it, and it's not to say that those things aren't there, Rachel, but I think this works perfectly on its own without looking an inch deeper than you want to. And that's what I really like about it. I think it's just, and that's where I think they actually do a really good job of having it be campy and fun enough. And the fun comes from the acting and the tension. I think I don't know any of their freaking names, but the blonde lady,
Sage.
yeah, I love that actress. I think she kind of steals the show for me in a lot of ways because there's just a pretty layered performance. And one thing I really appreciate, like, there's not a ton of action. When it is action, it's largely just sort of 2 people fighting. Overall, it's just, I think it's really well directed in to a degree that I think elevates it above what's obviously like a low budget and a very small scope. And I think that the directing actually really shines in the fight scenes. Like, it is very easy to have just 2 people fighting, be boring as shit, be very perfunctory and boring, and you're just waiting for the outcome so you can move the plot along. And I'll give you an example. Like, there's lots of little visual touches. Like, I love when they're swimming in the lake and she thinks she's pushing off the bottom, but she's pushing off the car that had been submerged in the lake. Some of that underwater photography is like fantastic. But then like when the two women are fighting at the end, that's like a fight. That's like a really well directed fight. I just think this director does a great job with those mechanics, the tension mechanics, just like that simple kind of retail directing stuff that takes something like this, it's pretty small, and elevates it. Like this, I don't think this is like, didn't blow me away. I was just looking at my top 10 list. I don't think it would crack my top 10 list, but this to me is the definition of like a good sit. Like you're not, I don't think you're going to be bummed if you put this on, is how I feel.
You might even be a little turned on. So
I agree it's horny.
Yeah.
I agree. There's the sexual tension is great, and a lot of that is owed.
Do you, Eric? I feel like
Hold on.
you like it went right over your head or
Hold
something.
on. A lot of that is owed. A lot of that is owed to the acting. I totally get behind that. I personally, and this is a personal desire, would like it to all be more explicit, more like visually explicit. If we're gonna go there, let's fucking go there, dude. That's all I'm saying. Like
you want just penetration? Like, can we just see the
no, go back and watch these
Simulated,
scenes. Like, sure, there's
schmimulated,
nudity
says
in the very,
Eric.
there's like nudity off the very top, but even the like big sex scenes are like, I think they're tame personally. Well, I don't know what you guys are watching, but
No, that's fair.
and that's a totally valid choice, and that's fine. It's not what I would have done, John. You know, so I'm just saying. But no, I think this is very solid. I really don't have complaints about it, other than that. I was so thoroughly lost when they were the twist, like the reveal was happening, but I was like, I feel like it's not that important.
Eric, do you know what the twist was? Like, can you tell us?
No, not particularly. I mean, like I get the basic twist that they're.
Were you on drugs while you were watching this?
Sometimes I don't hear so good, John. I don't process
fair.
so well.
You had your AirPods were doing the noise canceling.
No, not. That's
By
only
noise
at the
canceling,
theater.
You mean mute?
That's only the theater, not during home movies. I'm not doing that, John.
Should we talk about the ending now then and just get it out of the way?
Yeah, somebody explain to me.
Eric, they're brother and sister. Did you clock that piece at least?
Oh yeah, of course, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I don't. Then
That's
that
the
is
twist.
the twist. Like, I don't know what other twist.
Oh no, I got that then. I thought I was supposed to know their parents, or like it seemed like they were like making a big deal out of like the adults in the photo, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. There's four people.
Yeah.
Because
It
they're
was-
the people that are in the photos that are in the room when they break
See,
in.
okay, so that's the piece I wasn't connecting because
Yeah.
I didn't clock that.
Yeah. That's why they
Yeah.
do the like little pose thing to be like, does this look familiar?
Then I take it back. I did get the twist.
Yeah, but but Eric, that whole thing with the photos, I was like, all right, that's another example where I was like, what are we doing here? Like, why do
I was like, okay, cool.
your brother
Like they
and
show
sister
you the
look great.
photo in this very knowing way, and I'm like, I'm gonna need you guys to explain this to me, and then they did. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's like they do like a little bit of like exposition-y kind of like, we had to start killing people because we started with our parents because they
Yeah.
forbade us from being together, and so we killed our parents. That to me, where I was like, okay, so these two kids killed their parents and then just like started living in their house, and everyone was just like, yeah, that's cool. Like, no
I mean, we
investigation.
don't know what happened in the interim there. There could have been like a family member. We don't
Rachel,
know.
Yeah.
when
Or
people
they
get
may one of
killed
them may have been
mysteriously-
18. You know
When,
what I
when
mean?
people
Like,
mysteriously disappear, the first place they look is the fucking lake that's right by their house. Like, that shit would have. These were like rich people. Like, they would have been looking for them. So, I don't know.
all right, you're right. The movie sucks. You win.
Well, but that's where I'm just like, I couldn't get over that.
I don't
where
know
I'm
what to
like,
tell you.
really?
I had fun with this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
All right. Fair enough. The like, to me, that was like a level of like kind of goofiness that the rest of the movie doesn't have. Like, because I do think the rest of the movie is like smarter, is like more sort of like knowing, winking at the audience, but still like playing it straight. And then it went there, and I was like, what? Like,
That's fair. I mean, I
mean,
won't argue
it's-
with you. It's a jarring twist when they first reveal as far as the pacing and everything of the film. You're right. It is kind of over the top for what
Yeah.
we've been watching for 45 minutes at that point.
Well, it's
Or an
I
hour.
mean, it is
like an
certainly
hour
the
plus,
pivot
yeah.
point that leads into like a completely different tone of the movie. And like I said,
Yeah.
I think that is part of the absurdity is the call back to the erotic thriller. Sorry, Eric, it isn't an erotic thriller. It could be more erotic. It's a erotic-ish
Fine.
thriller. How about
If
that?
they were,
Can
if
we-
there was just like more boobs, Eric would have
We'll
called
call
this
it
an
on the
erotic thriller.
scale. How's that, Rachel? It's like
Fair.
it's on a continuum.
It's on a
let's say.
spectrum. Yes.
Spectrum, yes.
Yeah.
It's somewhere on the erotic thriller.
That's
spectrum.
right. It is somewhat
Well,
erotic.
And if you want to take the erotic out of it, I mean, that's like the soap
Why
opera.
would I?
That's the soap opera foundation of this too. I mean, that's soap opera one-on-one. There's kind of twists like that, and that's where it kind of flips over to its soap opera script for the ending.
Yeah. I mean, when was the last time you watched like one of those Richard Gere like Primal Fear movies from the 90s?
Honestly,
They're
the last
just
one of
as
these,
absolutely bonkers.
the last one of these,
Sure.
I would have watched was Joe Ferry brought us one to review. What was that?
Body Double,
Body
Yeah.
Double, yeah.
which also
I mean,
was
that's-
I mean, same kind of level of absurdity. Like
But it's a different
Obvious-
kind of. I mean, I would posit slightly different.
That's a different kind of thing, yeah.
That's more almost giallo or noir. But
Yeah.
okay, the movie because you all referenced a bunch of movies. The one that I kind of got hung up on also that I think does not do the Bone Lake any favors is Speak No Evil, because it's basically the same setup as Speak No Evil minus the kids, and not the American remake. Obviously, I'm referencing the original film. Like, that's a movie that tonally like commits to what it's doing, and then like takes it to like the final very dark conclusion. I don't know. So that for me, I was like, oh, we're doing a Speak No Evil situation. I mean, Perfect Getaway is a great pull, but that movie's like
That's-
15 years old at least.
John, I will never forget Perfect Getaway for as long as I live.
Yeah,
That's
no,
how
no.
much I love
I mean,
that
look,
movie.
it's Steve Zahn. I love come on.
But that's it. But the couple, they joined him on the vacation, like sort of by chance, and then, but there's like something going on. What's fun about Perfect Getaway is like you don't know which couple it is. That's the bad couple. That's the tension in that film. That's fun.
yeah.
I mean, to your point, John, though, I don't think that is those are very different movies in terms of what they're trying to achieve in terms of how the audience feels at the end of the film.
Yeah.
One of them
Yes.
is very, very dark and meant to leave you in an extremely bleak place. The filmmaker's intent behind this film was to kind of give you a thrill ride and for you to have kind of a sense of catharsis. Like there is that beat at the very, very end where sort of the realization of everything is sinking in with them. That's like a little bit of a darker moment, but you're meant to come away with this feeling a little like in a very different headspace. So like it doesn't go as far, but that was never the intention of this. And I think if you felt the way you did at the end of Speak No Evil, this would be a failure of a film because that was not what
totally.
that's just not what they're aiming for.
Yeah. No.
I
totally
think
get it.
your point about the camp, though, Rachel, is a great one. It's one of my favorite things. I think a lot of this is in the bad guy's performance. Like he got the memo
Patrick
about
Bateman.
Megan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is like Megan in a straight man's body is who he is.
I mean, he's like Patrick Bateman if he wasn't if he was capable of feeling like actual emotional connection to one human being. Yeah.
Even if it is a sister.
But I really enjoyed him. There's a moment where they're listening outside the door and they start like they're listening to the couple inside the bedroom and the couple's arguing about, and when they realize that it's starting to work, he does this dance. He does like an excited dance in the hallway. That was like one of my favorite moments.
That's actually one of the best scenes because that's like, to me, that was the not real twist, but like that was the surprise because that's the good couple playing the bad couple.
Yeah.
off
I did appreciate too
themselves.
that the film, like it shows its hand fairly, first of all, like just from the way they're acting, the second they walk in that house, something's going on.
Yeah. Totally.
And then it just gets
They bad.
fully addressed, like not super deep into it, which I kind of appreciate. Like if it's going to be that obvious, don't make me wait like there's a twist, but you know that they're bad long before you get the information as to like why.
Well,
Yeah.
Which I
I mean, the
liked.
tension doesn't come from not knowing that they're the bad guys, but it's the like, how are the couple we're rooting for going to navigate what we can clearly see is happening? It's
And
the
also
bomb
like
under the
it,
table.
but also what they don't know that we do know is the severity of how bad they are and how bad the situation's going to get. Even when
Right.
they start figuring out, they just think they're being fucked with, right? They don't realize they're in physical trouble, but that's part of the tension too, is like they're slowly realizing like it keeps going deeper and deeper.
Well, and sorry, you actually just you reminded me the other Speak No Evil sort of thing. Like, the other thing about Speak No Evil that's fucking crazy is they don't try to explain to you why the couple is crazy and evil. They're just like serial killer people. And this one, and I take the point about like it's VC Andrews and it's doing all the like crazy, like that moment to me almost like took me out of it. Like, I like the version where like these are just like, it's like a not Bonnie, they're like Bonnie and Clyde, or like natural born killer. Like, they're just two psychos who fell in love and love to kill people. Like, great. That's like a slightly
Natural Born
different movie,
Killers.
but like it works in a
John,
different way.
Natural Born Killers was the first digital video disc I ever bought when I bought my DVD player.
Well, it was really early, wasn't it? Like, wasn't that one of those things that I feel like
98.
they had that on DVD.
It was one of the
Yeah.
first round, yeah.
And laser disc and so forth. No, like, look, these roles that these characters got to play, like, it's like kind of incredible. Like, I feel like if you're an actor or actress at this like age, like, you get the script, it's like, because there's so much. Each one of
There's
the
so
four of
much
them
content for each of
got
them. There's
stuff
only
to
4
do.
people in the whole movie.
Yeah.
You get all these really interesting interplays with the other characters. Yeah, I think that's a good call.
My favorite scene in this movie was that the proposal scene with
Oh,
with
yes.
the ring.
It's really
That-
brutal.
That was the first. That was the first moment in this movie where I just kind of stopped and went, "Oh shit!" And you realize just how far they're going to go, and they haven't even done anything that crazy. So it kind of felt out of nowhere. So it was kind of like a slap to the face. We'd seen a couple weird things, hints before that, and then that went really big. But I also loved the way they played it with Diego's reaction to it, and how he kind of led him off and got him pulled to the side and everything. It was just a great scene altogether, the way it came together.
One of the strengths of this, I think, and it speaks to this moment, is that our main couple, you never get like infuriated with them because their reactions are actually pretty realistic. Like, at one point, they're like, you know, if you leave, you're never going to know these things about the other person. And they're like, yeah, we're good. We're going to go. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
I liked
Like,
that, yeah.
it's, because you would. And in the world of a movie like this, typically this is where logic breaks down for the need to fulfill the story, where they'd be like, oh, let me stay a little bit longer, even though you're screaming at the TV for them to leave. And repeatedly throughout the film, they make the more reasonable choice. It's just that are dealing with master manipulators.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and I like too that they set up the fault lines in their relationship, because I think, Rachel, I totally agree. They're making decisions that feel organic to those characters and to their relationship itself. Like, that to me is some of the best parts of this movie, is like how deep it goes on that one relationship. The brother sister relationship, it's
I mean,
Yeah.
they're mustache twirling, like,
Yes, correct.
Instagram beauty people. Like, that's all they are.
Yeah.
I
I did.
agree.
I like
This-
that. It was Diego.
yeah,
Isn't
Diego.
it?
Yeah.
I like that every time he's being like seduced by the bad lady, he just looks confused and terrified.
Yeah.
He's like, ooh, like he doesn't know what to do.
Well, like, he definitely bordered, and I think this was obviously a choice and kind of plays into maybe the Soviet. He like borders on like too pathetic at times. You're like,
yeah, I
"All
can
right,
agree
man."
with that.
Like,
Yeah.
you know.
So, nut up.
But and I
Let's
think
go.
it also works because Sage is very clearly like having second thoughts. You do wonder, like, a year
his
after
his
or 3
masculinity is
months later,
fragile, John.
Yeah, are they still together? Well, yeah, him not wanting her to like masturbate or whatever, like not use
no sex toys.
Yeah.
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 That was
Being
the is
intimidated
that
by
like a
sex
real
toys.
thing that people like? Is that like an internet thing that people talk
It-
about?
Some people are against them.
course.
I
Yeah.
don't know about it. Like, yeah, there's definitely people out there.
A million. There is there is a whole school of thought about that is like incredibly regressive, and to quote a friend of mine, a huge red flag.
I mean,
Yeah.
John,
Somebody,
I'm the friend.
There's,
I didn't know you wanted me to put you on blast.
We had a pre-show conversation about that. No, what I said
somehow
was
yeah,
it was
they
the
take it as a
canary.
personal inset.
What I said was
Insult.
it's the canary in the coal mine for a lot of much deeper problems about
Yeah.
manipulation, control, and fragile masculinity.
yeah.
Deep fragility. Yeah.
Well, that's-
I
and
do
that's-
appreciate that the film allows, though, both Diego and Sage to be imperfect and messy and still has some degree of sympathy for these characters. Like, it doesn't ask you to pick a side in this. It doesn't fully villainize anyone. Everybody is making mistakes, just as we all are in relationships.
But
You mean
I
in
guess
the,
where I
like,
was
to
landing
the
is like
couple?
Diego's objectively like she should break up with him. Is like in like the 3 months after this movie, like if she leaves Diego, I would not be surprised. Like
I mean, they definitely need to get like a sex therapist if they're going to try to make
They
it
need a
work
Yeah.
therapist.
after
They
this.
for sure need couples therapy. I did like though. There's kind of a sweet little moment towards the end when they're kind of limping off. Like it's not quite the end, and he's like, he apologizes for like quitting his job without really giving warning, and like he's just like, my writing's terrible. I'm sorry. Like I'll go back to teaching.
I know there's a lot
has a
of
little
there's a
bit
lot
of a
of personal growth
self-
happening.
Yeah, he has a little bit of
Yeah.
a self-aware moment there.
It's like
that I liked.
post-stab
Yeah.
clarity. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes. All right. Bone Lake. Would you recommend this, Rachel,
Hard yes.
Casey,
Yes.
Jonathan?
Sure.
I'm a definite yes. I would say yes. 4 thumbs up from the BGH crew. Let's get a quick break and do some fan mail.
Guys, I didn't feel comfortable saying no. I'm just telling you right now. So
Why would you say no? It's so fun. We need joy in our lives.
Or on Twitter using hashtag AskBGH. Join Patreon.
I'm gonna go
to
watch
get back episodes
Speaking of
and
Evil
much
again.
more.
Just
Patreon.com
feel darkness.
Good horror.
My man.
let the darkness in. With my pile of sex toys.
Sod upon your,
John
your
Schnars.
throne of sex toys.
John Schnars, pro sex toy is what I learned tonight. You'll love to see it.
It's like instead of the iron throne, he sits upon the silicone throne.
John, the answer
Anytime
is
someone
John. The answer is very fragile men. Is the answer
Yeah.
to your question?
Yeah.
about
Well,
this.
anytime someone is trying to deny another person their not illegal pleasures, like what are we doing here?
Their consensual pleasure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if they're, there's lots of things on that front that, different flags, but
All right.
Rachel, don't make me make the list.
Make the list. I would love to see the list.
No, it's come on.
Wait, what's the list?
Mostly I want to see the omissions on the list.
What's the list? What did I miss?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
It's a kingdom.
All right, John or Casey, what's on ye old threads?
We got one thread out there this week. It comes from our buddy Metal Prof. Be honest, how many dirty jokes did you think of and dismiss when you first saw the title?
I mean, kind of what I love about the title is I think it's a very intentional
Yeah.
double
Well,
entendre, and the characters joke about it in the
They
movie.
come
Yeah.
right out, very early in the film. It's like a thing. Yeah.
I could tell you, despite it being our wedding anniversary this past weekend and the many years we've been together, my wife still managed to roll her eyes after like the 5th consecutive Bone Lake joke.
Yeah, Casey.
And that's it for threads.
All right, on to Instagram this evening. Stand by. Don't yell at me, John. First up, Rory. Would you stay in a double booked rental? Not a goddamn chance in hell.
I know.
So
But-
here's the thing. It was huge. Like there should have been plenty of space for them.
I don't
But
care.
That was my
No,
thought, too.
The answer is no.
why are you booking an Airbnb that's like 5-bedroom house when you're one couple too. That was the other thing.
You want to go
Yeah.
bone?
Splurge.
You want to go bone in a couple of different rooms?
I guess.
It's for the clothing optional weekend in all the rooms and surfaces.
I do love though, because this calls back to like almost like Barbarian in a way, where it's funny. It's like this is a new
Subgenre.
sort of trope. It's a new trope. The like tension of a multi-rented Airbnb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Airbnb
or just
problems.
Airbnb horror, like the rental.
Well,
yeah.
the rental,
There's,
yeah.
There's a handful.
That
of
one we
these.
stayed in Milwaukee 100% had cameras in it. Like there's no way it didn't.
I mean,
like,
most
you walked
Airbnbs
in,
have cameras in them.
You walked in and looked to the right, and there was a fireplace, and the back of the fireplace was glass, and you could see into the room that Schnar stayed in.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't glass. It was wide open.
Yeah, you
It
don't
went
need a
straight
camera.
through.
I'm living in
I
John's in the
could have just
boom
crawled in
room.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have crawled through.
Hey, my friend Roger, am I desensitized, or was this pretty mild? Thank you.
I mean, that's fair. I didn't say it was the most erotic thriller. I just said that it is in that genre. There are slashers with no on-screen kills, which we have talked about. Like, but they're still slashers.
Dan Gardner, who's going to step in with the Joe level humor? We cannot let this title rest. Hopefully we got what you need there, buddy. Oh, this is hilarious because the next submission is from Joe. And it says, rough guess of how many going to Bone Lake jokes will be made.
Learning that everybody's parents listens to the show kind of has put a muzzle on my dirty jokes.
Come on.
Come on. Rachel, I think my dad would love your dirty jokes.
You do?
Yes,
Like-
I do.
Okay. All right. Like, I don't know. I felt like I was in the principal's office. I was like, God, everybody's parents listening.
No.
You're safe. My mom doesn't listen. She still doesn't fully understand what it is we do.
Yeah. I mean, my mom definitely don't listen. She would be scandalized.
Schnecky91, Bone Lake, more like Boner Lake, am I right? Oh,
Nice.
there we are. This is all we have is
Bone-ish.
bone jokes. Webos. So is there like one bone at this lake? So, there you go. I love the title. I think it's great.
Me too.
That's pretty good.
That's it.
Yeah. And the marketing was great. The marketing was so good on this. With
I don't
all of
think I
the
saw any.
alternate, I don't know if you saw all the posters, all the alternate posters. Like it was fantastic. What a great campaign. Lean in. Lean in. Take your kids, take your family. Great
And
day
just
movies.
like a little tip for people out there making erotic thrillers. Like, there's no such thing as too erotic. So let's don't hold back.
Just
Why are we holding
full
back?
frontal. Male,
And-
female.
If I
just-
disagree.
And there's still saxophone players.
yeah. The saxophone players do need work.
Bring back
You
the
know what
sax.
when again, I didn't even think of erotic thrillers while watching it, but now that we're talking about it, you remember like a couple years ago or last year there was like a Demi Moore. Was it Demi Moore? No.
The substance?
You mean the substance?
No,
That is
no, no,
also
no.
a red flag.
On Joe Bob did this movie one week. It was like a 2024, 2025. It was very much like it looked like somebody made a 90s direct-to-video movie, but it had like a famous actress in it. Maybe it wasn't Demi Moore. Someone help me out here.
I mean, if it's Demi Moore, I want to know because she was definitely like
No.
a queen of the genre.
Wait. Hold on. I got
A
it.
decent proposal.
It's Heather Graham is in it.
Oh,
With,
is it the one where she's a psychologist and then
Yes.
there's where it made me have uncomfortable feelings about the
Entity
kid from
Within.
the babysitter. Yes.
And this was wild because this was like it was like somebody just fully made a direct-to-video 90s erotic thriller.
That was the one with Barbara Crampton, right?
Yes.
Wait,
Yes.
what is the movie called?
Entity Within?
I don't. That
oh,
doesn't sound
no,
like
that's
the
not
right
what I
title.
That's not the
No.
right title.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
it
sorry.
had Barbara
Suitable
Crampton.
Flesh.
Yes,
That's
Suitable
it,
Flesh.
Yes. It was Joe Lynch directed that,
Oh,
right?
Joe Lynch. Okay.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah.
That's why it felt so spot on.
It's real wild. But Joe Bob, there's a Joe Bob episode on it. That's the only reason why I saw it. But
Great name.
I,
Suitable Flesh.
I thought that was more of a straight horror movie. No?
no,
Yeah.
it's a
I mean, it
really
definitely
cheesy,
leans-
like, yeah.
Well, there's the whole demon
This
possession
is definitely more
thing.
horror than this. Than your
It may be
typical-
trying to be serious, but it's
It's
not.
very horny for sure.
Yeah.
for sure. Like I said, the whole and it has the trope of the therapist having an inappropriate transference relationship with their patient.
And I'll be honest, I didn't watch it close enough to tell you if it was horny enough, so I can't give a ruling.
It could have been. I mean, it was
Either
pretty
way.
horny, but like you said,
Yeah.
more is more.
Yeah. All right, let's read through a couple YouTube comments and we'll wrap it up for the night. Ryan, Tuesday, y'all are maniacs. That won't make sense to anyone
Sorry,
else but the
brother.
people here with us live. Ryan just got engaged actually in Iceland.
Ah,
Yay.
Congratulations!
Ryan, of course, came. We met Ryan at our last our Midwestern get together last year.
I love him. He was so nice.
Let's see.
Honestly, everybody was awesome. We gotta do another one of those. That was so fun.
The Jace. This is the horniest marketing campaign I've ever seen. If Rachel wasn't here, what would even be the point?
I don't know what that means, but I like it.
Ryan, new music. What? Don't forget you can hear that new BGH theme everywhere you get music. Search for Hi-Fi, HY-FY. It's a full version. This is like Friends. Remember when the Friends theme came out on the radio? You can hear the full version right now.
I wish I could forget when the Friends theme came out on the radio.
And then he had to go write more verses for it because it only had the one refrain. That was it. Last up from Ryan. Schnarr's sexy ASMR when? I'm down.
All right, John.
Would you do
Now's
it,
the
John,
time.
if you thought it would help promote the horror section releases?
Yeah, read the synopsis of Dream Eater in ASMR style.
I mean, guys, it's a
And
low
then let's
bar.
watch the ticket sales to see if there's a bump.
It's fair. All right, Eric, tee it up tomorrow. Let's go.
All right, y'all. That's it. Thank you to all our new patrons. Appreciate the love. Patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror. And a couple more weeks till Halloween. There we are. All right, everybody.
Only one more week until Dream Eater, so can't look past that.
Yay.
Halloween.
Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll talk to you next week.
See you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.